The mind is the ultimate weapon, but most people never sharpen it. They move through life avoiding discomfort, hiding from hardship, and making excuses for why they aren't where they want to be. Weakness isn't born, it's built through a lifetime of choosing the easy road. If you want to forge an unbreakable mindset, you have to rewire your entire belief system. You have to stop thinking like everyone else. You have to do the things most people are too afraid to do, the things that make them uncomfortable, the things that expose them to failure. Strength isn't given, it's earned through the relentless pursuit of growth. And the only way to grow is to embrace pain. Pain is the greatest teacher. It's the force that strips away all illusions, all lies, all excuses. When you're in pain, you have two choices: break or build. Most people break. They let pain define them, control them, make them feel like victims. But the strongest people in this world, the ones who have mastered their minds, see pain differently. They don't run from it. They chase it down, stare it in the face, and force it to make them better. Pain is the refining fire, the test that separates the weak from the strong. It doesn't care about your background, your circumstances, your excuses. It only cares about one thing: what you do when you feel it. You have to stop avoiding suffering. You have to stop seeking comfort. Society has trained people to believe that struggle is something to be avoided, that pain is something to be numbed. That's why so many people are weak. They live their lives shackled by fear, unable to step into the fire because they've never learned how to handle it. But if you want to be unbreakable, you have to lean into suffering. You have to see pain as your guide, your mentor, the force that will shape you into the person you were meant to become. You have to willingly put yourself in situations that test you. That means doing the work when you're exhausted, pushing through discomfort when every fiber of your being is telling you to quit, and showing up even when no one is watching. It means waking up at 4 a.m. to train when your body is screaming for more sleep, choosing discipline over laziness, and facing your fears head on instead of letting them control you. It means refusing to let setbacks define you, refusing to let failure break you, refusing to let pain win. Pain is the doorway to greatness, but only if you have the courage to walk through it. Most people don't have that courage. They let pain dictate their lives. They let temporary discomfort stop them from reaching their potential. They say they want success, but the moment it gets hard, they quit. They say they want to be strong, but the moment they feel weakness, they run. If you want to be different, if you want to separate yourself from the masses, you have to reframe pain in your mind. Instead of seeing it as an enemy, see it as an ally. Instead of running from it, embrace it. Instead of fearing it, use it. Pain is the greatest gift you will ever receive, because it forces you to evolve. There is no shortcut to an unbreakable mindset. There is no easy path to strength. The only way to build true resilience is through hardship. That means deliberately seeking out the things that scare you, the things that push you, the things that force you to grow. It means conditioning your mind to endure suffering, to thrive in discomfort, to push past your limits when everything in you is telling you to stop. If you can do that, if you can embrace pain instead of avoiding it, you will become something most people never will: unbreakable. So the next time you feel pain, don't shy away from it. Don't look for an escape. Don't search for a way out. Instead, lean in, feel it, accept it, let it do its job. Let it mold you, strengthen you, teach you. Let it show you who you really are. Because in the end, pain isn't your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. And those who learn from it, those who welcome it, those who refuse to be broken by it, those are the ones who become truly unstoppable. To take this even further, make pain your daily companion. Wake up every day expecting struggle, welcoming the grind and embracing the battle that lies ahead. Too many people wait for the perfect conditions, the right motivation, or some external force to push them. But that's weakness disguised as patience. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a day when you wake up and everything feels easy. The only way to master pain is to take control of it. To see it as an opportunity, as a tool, as a chance to grow stronger than the person you were yesterday. You must also understand that pain is temporary, but the lessons it teaches last forever. A moment of suffering may feel unbearable, but in the grand scheme of your life, it is just that, a moment. What matters is how you respond to it, how you channel it, and how you allow it to shape you. Every challenge you overcome, every hardship you endure, every battle you fight through adds another layer to your mental armor. And when that armor is thick enough, nothing can break you. Not failure, not criticism, not rejection, not even loss. Because you have learned to thrive in adversity. Greatness isn't found in comfort and isn't given to those who seek an easy life. It is reserved for those who are willing to suffer for it, who are willing to pay the price, who are willing to endure the fire. Pain is the currency of strength, the price of true resilience, the cost of being unstoppable. And if you can understand that, if you can embrace it fully, if you can make it part of who you are, then nothing will ever stand in your way again. So make your choice. Stay comfortable and remain weak, or embrace pain and become unbreakable. The path is yours to walk. The fire is yours to enter. The pain is yours to master. But if you do, you will emerge stronger than you ever imagined. And in that strength, you will find true freedom. Life does not hand out strength. It does not grant resilience, nor does it gift an unbreakable mind. These things are built, earned, forged in fire, and sharpened through relentless discipline. Most people walk through life avoiding discomfort, choosing the easy path, seeking shortcuts, and then wonder why they crumble under pressure. They wonder why their minds break at the first sign of adversity. The reason is simple. They have never trained their minds to endure. They have never put themselves in situations that require toughness, that demand resilience, that force them to face themselves at their weakest and fight their way out. If you don't deliberately harden your mind every single day, life will break you when it decides to, not when you choose. There is no success without suffering. There is no greatness without hardship. You must put yourself through hell voluntarily so that when life inevitably drags you through it, you're already prepared. You must embrace suffering because suffering is the training ground for an unbreakable mind. Every day, there is an opportunity to callous your mind, to make it stronger, to strip away weakness and replace it with resolve. But you have to seek it out. It will not come to you. No one is going to do it for you. No one is going to force you to grow. That is your job and your job alone. The problem with most people is they wait until the storm comes before they prepare for it. They wait until the pressure is unbearable before they try to build resilience. That's like trying to learn how to swim when you're already drowning. It's too late. You have to be ahead of the game. You have to build mental armor before the battle begins. And that starts with deliberately putting yourself in situations that test your will, that force you to endure, that push you beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone. If you're not doing something every single day that challenges you, you are getting weaker. You are allowing softness to creep into your mind. And when the time comes to face real adversity, you will break. Callousing your mind means doing what most people won't. It means waking up early when your body screams for more sleep. It means pushing yourself further when your mind tells you to stop. It means embracing discomfort as a way of life. Not once in a while, not when you feel like it, every single day. Because the mind, just like the body, adapts to stress. The more you push it, the stronger it gets. The more you expose it to hardship, the more resilient it becomes. This is not about motivation. Motivation fades. This is about discipline, about creating a version of yourself that does not quit, does not break, does not fold under pressure. A version of yourself that can take pain, that can handle suffering, and keep moving forward, regardless of the circumstances. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. So how are you training? Are you putting yourself through fire every day, or are you staying comfortable? Are you choosing the path of growth, or are you letting yourself weaken with every excuse? There is no in between. You are either getting stronger or you are getting softer. And every single day is a test. Every single day you make a choice. When that alarm goes off, do you get up or do you hit snooze? When it's time to push through exhaustion, do you dig deep or do you give in? When life gets hard, do you fight or do you fold? These small decisions add up. They define you. They shape your character. And eventually they determine whether you are capable of withstanding life's most brutal tests or if you will break under the weight of them. There will be days when you don't feel like doing it. Days when your body is screaming for rest. Days when your mind is searching for excuses. Those are the most important days. Those are the days that separate the strong from the weak. Because anyone can push when they feel good, when conditions are perfect, when motivation is high. But true mental toughness is built in the moments when everything inside you wants to quit, but you keep going anyway. That's the difference. That's what creates an unbreakable mindset. You have to be willing to suffer. You have to be willing to endure. You have to be willing to go through things that most people run from. Because the truth is, life does not care about your feelings. Life does not wait for you to be ready. It will test you when you least expect it. And when that moment comes, you will either be prepared because you have spent years forging an unbreakable mind, or you will crumble because you never put in the work. And there is no escaping this reality. The only question is whether you will rise or fall. So start today. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for things to get easier. They won't. Life will not hand you strength. You must take it. You must build it. You must earn it. Callous your mind daily. Do something that sucks. Embrace discomfort. Seek out challenges. Make suffering a habit. And when life comes for you, when adversity strikes, when the storm hits, you will stand tall, unshaken, unbreakable, ready for whatever comes next. Every single person walking this earth is fighting a battle within. Some let that battle control them, dictate their actions and define their limits. Others take command, sharpen their minds like a blade, and refuse to be at the mercy of weakness, doubt, and fear. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who live in regret isn't talent, luck, or privilege. It's their ability to master the inner dialogue, the relentless voice that either builds them up or tears them apart. The mind is a battlefield, and every thought is a weapon. Most people allow their thoughts to be dictated by circumstance, by pain, by failure. They let their emotions drive their actions. And when things get hard, they listen to that weak voice telling them it's okay to stop. That voice is the enemy. It will lie to you. It will try to convince you that you've done enough, when you know deep down you haven't pushed to your true limit. If you don't control that voice, it will control you. The first step to mastering inner dialogue is awareness. You have to listen, truly listen, to the way you speak to yourself. Most people are their own worst enemies, constantly feeding themselves negativity, reinforcing their own limitations. When you tell yourself you're not good enough, not strong enough, not capable enough, you're digging a grave for your own potential. The human mind is a supercomputer, but it will only run the programs you install. Feed it weakness, and it will break under pressure. Feed it strength, and it will carry you through any storm. The mind follows patterns, and if you let it, it will default to the easiest path. The one of least resistance, the one of comfort, the one that keeps you in the same place, making the same excuses. This is why you must rewrite the script. Every time that voice tells you can't, you replace it with action. You don't negotiate with it. You override it with absolute, undeniable proof that it is wrong. The only way to do that is to consistently push beyond what you think you're capable of. You must condition your mind like you condition your body through constant, unrelenting stress and adaptation. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when fear tries to tighten its grip, when the path ahead seems too steep. In those moments, you don't wait for motivation. You don't wait for inspiration. You take control of your mind and command it to push forward. Because here's the truth. Motivation is fleeting. It's unreliable. It comes and goes like the tide. But discipline, mental fortitude, and absolute control over your inner dialogue, that is permanent. That is what separates those who succeed from those who spend their lives wishing they had. Your inner dialogue must become your greatest ally. It must be your weapon, your armor, your guiding force. You have to train it every single day until it no longer works against you, but for you. When your body screams for rest, when your mind begs for comfort, when everything in you wants to quit, that is when you lean into the voice that tells you to keep going. That voice must become the loudest, the strongest, the most dominant force in your life. Because once you master that voice, nothing can break you. Every struggle, every failure, every setback, it's all data. It's all fuel. Weak minds see failure as a reason to stop. Strong minds see failure as information, as a lesson, as an opportunity to recalibrate and come back stronger. The difference between those who rise and those who fall is how they interpret their struggles. If you tell yourself that failure defines you, it will. But if you tell yourself that failure is just another step toward mastery, you will become unstoppable. The world will not always give you what you want. It will not always be fair. There will be moments when life knocks you to your knees, when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on you, daring you to quit. That is when your inner dialogue must be at its strongest. That is when you must stand up and say, "This will not break me." Because the moment you refuse to let your mind succumb to weakness is the moment you step into your true power. Mastering inner dialogue is not about lying to yourself. It's not about pretending everything is easy. It's about taking absolute ownership of your thoughts, recognizing the lies your mind tries to feed you, and replacing them with undeniable truth. The truth is, you are capable of far more than you believe. The truth is, your mind has been your greatest obstacle, but it can also be your greatest weapon. The truth is, once you take control of that voice, there is nothing in this world that can hold you back. You have to put in the work. You have to fight for every inch. But if you commit to mastering your inner dialogue, if you refuse to let doubt and fear dictate your path, you will forge an unbreakable mindset. And once that happens, there is no limit to what you can achieve. You wake up every morning wanting something better, craving change, seeking a new level of success. But let's be real. Most people don't understand what it takes to get there. They want the prize without the pain, the growth without the struggle, the success without the sacrifice. That's not how this works. The world doesn't hand out victories to the weak. The world doesn't reward the ones who quit when it gets hard. It rewards those who turn adversity into fuel, who see struggle as the pathway, who understand that the battle never ends, it only gets harder. And that's the whole point. The moment you start believing life should be easy is the moment you've already lost. That mentality is what keeps people weak, what keeps them sitting on the sidelines, watching others dominate. Life will punch you in the mouth, break your bones, strip you down to nothing, and leave you questioning whether you've got anything left. And in that moment, when everything feels like it's falling apart, you have a choice. You either rise or you fold. You either get stronger or you break. Most people break. Most people crumble under pressure because they never trained themselves to thrive in suffering. They were too busy looking for comfort, avoiding the grind, staying in their safe little bubble where nothing ever challenged them. You don't grow from ease. You grow from pain. Every ounce of greatness in this world was built from struggle. Nobody who ever achieved something extraordinary got there without being tested, without being broken, without standing in the fire and refusing to back down. They took their adversity and made it their advantage. They turned every setback into ammunition, every failure into knowledge, every hardship into something that forged them into a better version of themselves. That's the difference between the weak and the unbreakable. The weak complain, the unbreakable adapt. The weak make excuses, the unbreakable find solutions. The weak stop when they feel discomfort. The unbreakable push through, knowing that discomfort is the exact thing that's making them stronger. Most people don't want to hear this because it means they have to stop blaming their circumstances. They have to stop pointing fingers at their past, their parents, their environment, and start taking responsibility for where they are. The truth is, adversity doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about how unfair life has been. It doesn't care if you're tired, broken, or scared. It's coming for you regardless. And you can either let it destroy you or you can use it. You can let it mold you, shape you, make you into something relentless. But that choice is yours. When you understand that adversity is fuel, everything changes. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as training grounds. Every hardship is another rep in the gym, another mile on the road, another lesson that's turning you into something greater. The people who thrive in this world, the ones who leave a legacy, they don't pray for an easy life. They don't sit around wishing for comfort. They welcome the hard times because they know those hard times are exactly what's needed to level up. They embrace the suffering because suffering is the currency of greatness. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to make this easy for you. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, the right circumstances, the ideal situation, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. The perfect moment doesn't exist. What exists is right now. What exists is this moment, this challenge, this pain that you're facing. You can either let it be the reason you give up, or you can let it be the reason you rise. You can let it defeat you, or you can let it fuel you. The choice is always yours. When life gets hard, and it will, you have to decide how you respond. Will you be the person who breaks? Will you be the person who folds under pressure, who lets adversity dictate their future? Or will you be the person who fights, the person who takes every hardship and turns it into power, the person who refuses to be defeated? That's what separates the average from the elite. That's what determines whether you'll live an extraordinary life or die with regret. Most people don't push themselves because they fear pain. They fear failure. They fear what happens when they hit their limits. But here's the truth. Your limits aren't real. They're lies you tell yourself to justify staying comfortable. You don't know what you're truly capable of until you push past what you think is possible, until you go beyond your threshold, until you do the thing that feels impossible and prove to yourself that you're stronger than you ever imagined. The only way to find out what you're truly made of is to test yourself. And that test doesn't come in easy times. It comes in the struggle, in the hardship, in the adversity that's trying to break you. That's where the real you is forged. Adversity is the greatest gift you will ever receive. It is the tool that sharpens you. It is the fire that hardens you. It is the pressure that turns you into something unbreakable. If you avoid it, you will never reach your full potential. If you run from it, you will never know what you're truly capable of. If you embrace it, if you use it, if you let it push you beyond what you thought possible, then there is nothing in this world that can stop you. No setback, no failure, no pain, no loss. Nothing will be enough to break you because you have been forged in the fire, because you have turned adversity into fuel. So the next time life hits you, the next time you feel like giving up, the next time everything seems stacked against you, remember this: that pain you're feeling is making you stronger. That hardship you're facing is molding you into something greater. That adversity standing in your way is not there to stop you. It's there to push you forward. It's there to make you better. It's there to fuel you. The question is, will you use it? Will you take everything that's tried to break you and turn it into the very thing that builds you? Will you rise when most people fall? Will you stand when most people quit? Will you prove to yourself and to the world that nothing, not pain, not fear, not adversity, can stop you? That's the mindset you need. That's the mentality of the unbreakable. That's the key to becoming something greater. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop making excuses. Take the adversity life has given you and use it, because that's how you become unstoppable. That's how you become unbreakable. That's how you win. Life is a battlefield, and every day you wake up, you step onto the front lines. The world does not owe you an easy path, nor will it lay out a red carpet for your dreams. It will test you, beat you, and push you to the edge of breaking. The difference between those who rise and those who crumble is simple. One stays in the fight while the other surrenders. This is where the unbreakable mindset is forged, in the furnace of struggle, under the weight of adversity, in the darkness where most give up. The moment you set your sights on something greater, resistance will come. It is an undeniable truth that success does not bow to weakness. It demands a level of commitment and resilience that most are unwilling to give. The fight you are in is not just physical, it is mental, emotional, and spiritual. It is a relentless war against doubt, fear, and the temptation to quit. Every obstacle you encounter is a test, a question asked by the universe. How bad do you want it? The weak hesitate. They negotiate with their own excuses. But the unbreakable mind never wavers. The answer is always the same. Relentless pursuit, no matter what. You have felt pain. You have known exhaustion. You have stood at the edge of defeat, and yet you are still here. That means you have more left in you. The body will scream for relief long before it reaches its true limits. The mind will craft illusions of failure, convincing you that you have given your all, when, in reality, you are barely scratching the surface of your potential. Staying in the fight means recognizing this deception, pushing beyond perceived limits, and proving to yourself that the barriers you once believed in were nothing more than self-imposed illusions. When adversity strikes, most people retreat. They seek comfort, safety, a way out. But comfort is the enemy of growth, and safety is an illusion designed to keep you small. If you ever find yourself feeling comfortable, is a sign that you are no longer progressing. Staying in the fight means embracing discomfort, making pain your ally, and staying tall when everything in you screams to give in. It means understanding that every hardship is a stepping stone, a necessary phase in the process of transformation. Discipline is the foundation of an unbreakable mindset. It is not a matter of motivation, because motivation is fleeting. Some days you will wake up feeling unstoppable. Other days you will wake up questioning everything. The difference maker is discipline, the commitment to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. Champions do not rely on emotions. They rely on the unshakable discipline that keeps them moving forward when their bodies and minds beg for rest. Excuses are the silent killers of dreams. The moment you start justifying why you cannot do something is the moment you hand over your power. The weak speak in terms of limitations, pointing fingers at circumstances, waiting for the perfect moment. The unbreakable take ownership. They refuse to wait. They refuse to accept defeat. They take the punches, they bleed, they stumble, but they never stop. Staying in the fight means standing up one more time than you fall. It means refusing to let failure define you. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary ingredient. Every great warrior has scars. Every true champion has faced defeat. The difference, they kept going. There will be times when you feel alone in the struggle, when no one believes in you, when the voices around you echo doubt. That is the moment of truth, the defining moment that separates those who fold from those who rise. If you need the world's validation to continue, you are already beaten. The fire must come from within. It must burn so fiercely that no true resilience is built in solitude, in silence. When no one is watching, when it is just you against you, the battle is never ending. The moment you achieve one goal, another stands before you. Those who believe in a final destination of ease and comfort are mistaken. The only constant is struggle, and that is a blessing. Because struggle is what shapes you. Struggle is what forces you to evolve. If you are not fighting, you are not growing. If you are not pushing, you are stagnating. Staying in the fight means embracing the never-ending war against mediocrity. It means refusing to settle, refusing to compromise your vision, refusing to accept anything less than your absolute best. Pain is temporary, but quitting is permanent. The suffering you endure today will be the strength you rely on tomorrow. Every drop of sweat, every tear, every moment of exhaustion is an investment in your future self. Stay in the fight. Refuse to break. Push forward when everything inside you wants to stop. You are not weak. You are not a victim. You are a warrior, forged in adversity, unbreakable in spirit. The battlefield is waiting, the world is watching, and the only question that remains is this: will you stay in the fight? Most people go through life waiting for someone to save them. They wait for the perfect moment, the right mentor, or some miracle to pull them out of the hole they've dug for themselves. They blame their circumstances, their past, and everything outside their control. But here's the truth. Nobody is coming. If you don't step up, if you don't take complete control of your mind, your body, and your actions, you will stay exactly where you are, stuck in mediocrity, buried under your own excuses. The only way out is through sheer force of will. You must become your own hero. The mind is weak by nature. It wants comfort, safety, and the easy way out. That's why so many people remain stagnant. They let their doubts dictate their lives. They listen to that voice telling them they're not good enough, not strong enough, not capable enough. They accept failure before they even try. That mindset will destroy you. It will keep you trapped in the same patterns, the same cycles of regret and disappointment. The only way to break free is to reprogram your mind, to kill the weakness inside of you, and to forge yourself into something greater than you ever thought possible. Every day is a battle. The moment you wake up, you have two choices. Either attack the day with relentless intensity or let it run over you. Too many people hit snooze on their dreams, push them off for another day, another excuse, another chance they'll never take. A real hero doesn't wait. A real hero doesn't negotiate with weakness. A real hero stands up, puts in the work, and dominates the mission no matter what stands in the way. Pain is inevitable. There will be suffering. There will be hardship. Life will knock you down again and again. That's not an excuse to quit. That's the reason to push harder. Most people fold under pressure. They let pain dictate their actions. But pain is the greatest teacher if you let it be. It shows you where you're weak. It exposes the areas where you need to grow. And when you embrace it, when you lean into it instead of running away, you become something different. You become unbreakable. No one hands out greatness. No one gives it to you. You have to earn it through sacrifice, through discipline, through blood, sweat, and relentless effort. You must be willing to suffer for it. The ones who make it to the top are not the ones with the most talent or the easiest path. They are the ones who refuse to quit, who push through the pain, who keep moving forward even when the world tells them to stop. They are the ones who are willing to walk alone, to suffer in silence, to grind when no one is watching, to do what others won't so they can have what others never will. Most people are afraid of being alone. They need validation. They need someone to tell them they're good enough. But if you want to be your own hero, you have to embrace solitude. You have to find strength in your own mind, your own willpower. Because at the end of the day, the only person who can save you is you. If you're waiting for permission, you've already lost. You must be willing to take the first step alone, to endure the hardship without applause, and to keep pushing forward even when the world turns its back on you. Discipline is everything. Most people rely on motivation, but motivation is fleeting. It's unreliable. It's weak. Discipline is what separates the strong from the weak. Discipline is what keeps you going when you don't feel like it, when everything in your body is screaming for you to stop, when your mind is telling you to quit. That's when you dig deep, when you find that second win, that third, that fourth, when you realize you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. That's when you prove to yourself that you are unstoppable. Your past doesn't define you. Your failures don't define you. The only thing that matters is what you do next. Most people carry their failures like a weight, letting them drag them down, letting them convince them they're not worthy of success. That's a lie. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to come back stronger. The ones who win are the ones who refuse to be held down by their past. They take responsibility for their mistakes, they learn from them, and they keep moving forward. No excuses, no complaints, just action. The hardest part of becoming your own hero is accepting that it's all on you. No one is going to do the work for you. No one is going to make you great. You have to wake up every day and make the decision to be better than you were yesterday. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard. You have to set goals so high that they scare you and then attack them with everything you've got. Most people quit when it gets hard. They tap out when the discomfort sets in. But the ones who become legends, the ones who create real change in their lives and the lives of others, they embrace the suck. They lean into the struggle. They find beauty in the suffering. They understand that pain is the price of greatness, and they pay it gladly. They don't avoid hardship. They chase it because they know that's where real transformation happens. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop making excuses. There is no perfect time, no right moment. The time is now. Step up. Take control. Push through the pain, the doubt, the fear. Become the hero of your own story, because no one else is going to do it for you. And when the world tries to break you, when life throws everything it has at you, stand tall, look it in the eye, and say, I am unbreakable. I refuse to be a victim. I refuse to let my past, my failures, or my circumstances dictate my future. I will rise, I will fight, and I will conquer. Every struggle I face, every hardship I endure will only sharpen my edge. I will not stop. I will not slow down. I will not break. I am my own hero, and I will prove it every single day with my act, my discipline, and my relentless pursuit of greatness.